Hello everyone, welcome to the video on Target GPAT 2022 MCQ series. In this video, I am going to explain previous GPAT pharmacology questions with answer explanation, and this is part 4. This is my YouTube channel. If you like the video content, do share the video and subscribe the channel. Let's get into the topic. Now, living cells are negatively charged inside primarily because of, this is called resting membrane potential. At the rest, all the cell inside the plasma membrane, there is a particular charge, and the charge inside the cell is negative. Now the question asks, why does this negative charge is there inside the cell? What is the reason? Now the basic reason for this negative charges is inorganic phosphates, phosphates with negative charge, acids which are in negative charge, and some of the molecules which contains negative charge. All these charged molecules cannot escape from the cell, so they remain inside the cell, and that is what is causing negative charge. And you know, this inorganic phosphate, the major source is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. 3 phosphates with negative charges are there, and that is what gives resting membrane potential as -1. Usually it is -70 millivolt to the exterior. This negative charge is there. Now what is the answer here? ATP, adenosine triphosphate, organic acids and other negative molecules that cannot escape, and that is what gives negatively charged one. So this is the right answer. This is technically known as resting membrane potential. At the rest, cell has got a certain potential, and that is negative to the exterior. So this is the answer. Moving to the next one. Which of the following drug requires administration on an empty stomach? See, the answer is levothyroxine. See, all the thyroid drugs has to be taken in empty stomach. The reason is presence of food in the stomach or any other things will reduces the absorption of these hormones. So to increase the absorption, it has to be taken only on empty stomach. So the answer here is levothyroxine. Moving to the next one. Now, an extension of normal pharmacological effects of a drug or its metabolite is termed as, see, this is adverse drug reaction types. Now let us understand the types of adverse drug reactions. Now type A, see, all of them are ADRs, adverse drug reactions. Now type A indicates augmented. Now the English word augmented means extension of pharmacological action. See, 80% of the drugs show their side effects due to their extension of pharmacological effects. Let us understand them. Calcium channel blockers are there. What is the one of the major side effects? Hypotension. Now, what is the use of calcium channel blockers? They will block calcium channel, so they will try to reduce hypertension. In that process, they may also cause hypotension. So this is extension of its mechanism of action. That is what is causing the side effect, and they are known as augmented, right? Now the second one, B stands for bizarre. Now see, in case of augmented reactions, you know what kind of side effect is there. It is an extension of its mechanism of action. Bizarre is unrelated. You don't know why that particular side effect is coming. It is known as bizarre. Now type C is known as chronic. Chronic use of drugs will cause certain adverse drug reactions. That is called as chronic. Now D is delayed. Now certain drugs people take at a particular time. After a long time of the drug, there may be some side effects. They are known as delayed adverse drug reactions. Now the question asks, extension of normal pharmacological effects, that relates to augmented. So the option A is correct here. Moving to the next one. Now, deoxy position of deoxyribose in DNA is at. Now let us see this ring. So this is what is ribose ring. See, this is first position wherein you have nitrogen base is there. A hydroxy group is also present here, and then this. So this is what is 5-membered ribose ring is there. Now deoxy means at this second position, oxygen will not be there, only hydrogen will be there. Hence it is known as deoxyribose. So what is this position? Second position. So what is the answer here? At second carbon. So this is the right answer. Moving to the next one. Now all are potent 3A4 inhibitors except, see, 3A4 is a big family of cytochrome P450 enzyme. Now this family is responsible for 80% of the drug metabolism. Now inhibitors, antifungals, yes, they inhibit this particular enzymes. Protease inhibitors, yes, they also inhibit. Macrolides, they also inhibit. Barbiturates, no, in fact they are enzyme inducers. They are not inhibitors. So except means which of the following is not inhibitor means barbiturates, because they are inducers. They are enzyme inducers. They activate the enzyme action, not inhibit the enzyme action. Moving to the next one. Now, Fanconi syndrome is caused by which of the following group? Now, Fanconi syndrome especially it affects kidney tubules. Damage of kidney tubules will causes lot of molecules to escape out of the body, like glucose, ions, urates, all of them will be going out of the body. This is a dangerous sign because it results in muscle loss, bone density loss, everything will be there because kidney could not reabsorb. There is a damage because of this syndrome. Now, which group? Tenofovir, expired tetracycline, cisplatin. This group is what causes Fanconi syndrome. So remember, this is an important syndrome. Moving to the next one. Now, which one of the following pairs of lipids and related compounds exhibit opposite biological activities? Let us see one by one. C5, HPETE means hydroperoxyecosotetraenoic acid. Eicosanoids, 20-membered carbon containing lipids, and from this leukotrienes are derived. So both of them are related to compounds. They do not exhibit opposite biological actions. They show related activities. So this is not the answer. Now cholic acid, from cholic acid lithocholic acid comes. So this is also not the answer. Neuraminidase inhibitors, no. They all belong to same class. Now what is there? Acetone, beta hydroxybutyrate. Both of them are ketone bodies. So this is also not the answer. See, there is a mistake in this particular question. In fact, the option has to be changed. This question was removed from GPAT 1. Now, what question has to be is thromboxanes and prostacyclins. Prostacyclins. Now understand the action of this one. Thromboxanes will cause platelet aggregation, whereas prostacyclin inhibit platelet aggregation. They have opposite actions. So thrombocyclins also cause narrowing of blood vessels, whereas prostacyclin will cause blood vessel dilation. So they have opposite actions. This question was removed, but I am just telling you for your knowledge. So thromboxane, prostacyclins will have opposite biological actions. Now moving to the next one. Now, which of the following antiviral agent is not a nucleoside analog? Let us see one by one. Idoxuridine. Uridine is derived from uracil. Uracil, nucleoside analog. Cytarabine, cytosine is again what? A nucleoside analog. Vidarabine, this is from adenine. So all the three are derivatives of nucleoside analogs. But which one is not the derivative? Moraxidine. Moraxidine is a heterocycle with biguanide structure. Biguanide. So what is the question? Which is not a nucleoside analog? So answer is moraxidine. Moving to the next one. Now, drugs that have been found to be useful in one or more types of heart failure include all of the following except. That means which of the following class cannot be used to treat heart failure? Sodium potassium ATPase inhibitors, the best example is digoxin, which is the one of the choice of drug to treat heart failure. Beta adrenoreceptor agonist antagonist, remember this, both of them can be used to treat heart failure depending upon the symptoms. ACE inhibitors, captopril, fosinapril, esinapril, they are the best choice of drug to treat heart failure. Now which one cannot be used? Alpha adrenoreceptor agonist cannot be used because they affect cardiac output of the heart. Already in heart failure, cardiac effect is impaired and you cannot use this drug. So the option B is correct. Moving to the next one. HIV may not respond to nucleoside analog. See, reverse transcriptase inhibitors, you have nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors are there. They are the choice of drugs, so they will respond to HIV. Protease inhibitors, ritonavir, fosinapril, nelfinavir, all of them, they also respond to HIV. Reverse transcriptase inhibitors, as we have seen, they are very much responsive to HIV. So which one will not respond? Neuraminidase inhibitors, these are used to treat influenza but not HIV. So option C will not respond, so the option C is correct answer. Moving to the next one. Now, which drug is associated with hepatic renal toxic metabolite N-acetyl parabenzoquinone? This is very important one. Acetaminophen is responsible for the formation of this particular toxic metabolite. It shows toxicity to liver as well as kidney. So the option is option D, acetaminophen. Moving to the next one. Now, which of the following is GLP agonist? Glucagon-like peptide. They are known as incretins. The job of incretins is they will cause insulin secretagogue action. Now, in this exenatide is GLP-1 agonist. See, sitagliptin, pramlintide, both of them, they are dipeptidyl peptidase 4 inhibitors, an enzyme, enzyme inhibitors, whereas pioglitazone is again insulin secretagogue but not GLP-1 agonist. So the option is exenatide. Now, identify harmful drug-drug interaction. This is one of the prominent drug-drug interaction. You can see with meperidine and pargaline. Pargaline is a monoamine oxidase inhibitor. When both of them are given together, the analgesic effect of meperidine is potentiated. In fact, it causes severe CNS toxicity, which may cause coma and death also. So this is dangerous one. So option C is correct one. Moving to the next one. Prostaglandin used in the treatment of postpartum hemorrhage. Postpartum means after birth. See, women after giving birth, they will have hemorrhage, bleeding problem is there. That is treated by carboplast. See, all of them are prostaglandin analogs, but carboplast is choice of drug to treat postpartum hemorrhage. Whereas rest of all drugs are used to treat glaucoma. All of them are prostaglandin analogs, but the selective drug is carboplast. Moving to the next one. Now, which of the following is selective alpha-2 antagonist? Look at the choices. Clonidine is alpha-1 agonist. Prazosin alpha-1 antagonist. Phenytolamine is non-selective, whereas yohimbine is alpha-2 antagonist. So option D is the correct one. Now, which of the following anti-cancer drug targets aromatase? Let us understand what is this aromatase. Aromatase is an enzyme responsible for the formation of estrogens. Especially, they convert androgens to estrogens with the help of this aromatase enzyme. And these excessive levels of estrogen is responsible for breast cancer in women. Now, so the aromatase inhibitor is aminoglutamide. This is the drug. So option C is correct. When you see the other things, see, cyproterone acetate is an anti-androgen, whereas raloxifene, tamoxifen are selective estrogen receptor modifiers. They are also used to treat breast cancer. Mechanism is different. Testosterone is an androgen. Okay, moving to the next one. Now, cancer cells acquire resistance to Vinca alkaloids by P-glycoprotein. See, overexpression of P-glycoprotein pump. This is known as efflux pump. This is there in our intestinal enterocytes. Imagine this one is intestinal enterocyte. When a drug enters here, these particular pumps will take them and throw it outside these cells. So they are a kind of efflux pump. Because of that, the drug concentration reduces and that confers resistance. So cancer cells will increase the P-glycoprotein pumps and that is how they become resistant to Vinca alkaloids. Moving to the next one. Which of the following is ultra short acting adrenergic blocker? This is a very popular one, esmolol. In fact, esmolol starts showing its action in 1 to 2 minutes and the duration of action is 30 minutes. Now, the reason for this short duration of action is it has got an ester linkage in its structure. The ester breaks down to give acid derivative, and when ester is converted to acid, it easily excreted out of the body. That is the reason it has got very short duration of action, and it starts showing action within 1 to 2 minutes of administration. Esmolol. Next one. Now, the most widely used agent for the treatment of acute gouty arthritis. Look at the choices. Indomethacin is also used to treat gouty arthritis. It is an NSAID. Allopurinol is xanthine oxidase inhibitors. This is also used to treat gouty arthritis. Colchicine, anti-inflammatory agent, which is most widely used. So this is the answer. Probenecid is a uricosuric agent which increases uric acid excretion. See, all of them can be used to treat gouty arthritis, but most widely used one is colchicine. The reason is it has got a very prominent anti-inflammatory actions which will reduces pain at bone junctions. So this is the answer. Moving to the next one. Now, chlorpromazine effects include all of the following except. Now, chlorpromazine decreases adrenocorticotropins. It decreases release of pituitary hormone. It also increases prolactin secretion. This is the reason why it also causes gynecomastia. But only one which it will not show is it do not cause any thyroid problems. So option D is correct. See, all these are endocrinal effects of chlorpromazine which are very problematic one. Only endocrinal system which is not affected is thyroid hormone production. So these are all the set of 20 questions of previous GPAT pharmacology questions. If you like the video, do share with your friends and subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching this video.